We are America, second to none, and we own the finish line. Don't forget it.
I want to play that full clip for you, not just the ending that you saw there, but first I want to jump in to give you the context. That's from Biden's speech at the Democratic Convention in 2016. It's been repeatedly going viral for months now. Just an incredible moment, one of the greatest speeches Biden ever delivered. Here it is, then we'll discuss.
Not only do we have the largest economy in the world, we have the strongest economy in the world. We have the most productive workers in the world. And given a fair shot, given a fair chance, Americans have never, ever, ever, ever let their country down. Never. Never. Ordinary people like us who do extraordinary things. We've had candidates before who attempted to get elected by appealing to our fears, but they've never succeeded because we do not scare easily. We never bow. We never bend. We never break when confronted with crisis. No, we endure, we overcome, and we always, always, always move forward. That's why I can say with absolute conviction, I am more optimistic about our chances today than when I was elected as a 29-year-old kid to the Senate. The 21st century is going to be the American century. Because we lead not only by the example of our power, but by the power of our example. That is the history of the journey of America. And God willing, Hillary Clinton will write the next chapter in that journey. We are America, second to none, and we own the finish line. Don't forget it. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Come on. We're America. Thank you.
Pretty dang legendary. So I saw that, thought it was cool. Wanted to play it for you. That's reason one, main reason why we're talking about it on today's show. But I also want to discuss a little bit about one of the elements of that speech. Really the main subject of what you just watched was the sort of hype up for the United States. And it gets to what I guess you'd call progressive patriotism. And something that I think rhetorically, we as people on the left could learn a lot from. What do I mean by that? Well, for a long time, the Republican Party has spent a lot of time, effort, and resources on different branding initiatives. We're the pro-freedom party, pro-liberty party, pro-veteran party, the party of fiscal responsibility, etc. Things that fit on a bumper sticker nicely, are simple, easy to remember, and they pound that branding drum for years, and people across the country start believing it. Now, of course, so often, the branding is antithetical to their policies. For example, Republicans are pro-veteran, they say, even though Democrats always want to more properly fund programs that take care of veterans. Or Republicans are fiscally responsible and good for the economy, even though the economy has consistently performed better under Democrats while overseeing smaller increases to the deficit for decades. And there are all sorts of similar examples. We heard Patrick Bet-David say in a past segment that the right wing is for choice and freedom. I have a few dozen million women who would beg to differ. But the Democratic Party falls into this really aggravating routine of ceding those talking points to Republicans. There's so rarely proper pushback. So then even a lot of left-leaning moderates are walking around thinking Republicans are better for the economy, as the polling shows people think that, even though that hasn't appeared in the data for at least a century. But it's because Republicans win the branding game. As I've said a lot in light of recent news, facts don't speak for themselves. We have to speak on behalf of facts and then smack people across the face metaphorically with facts as many times as it takes until they absorb them. And that applies to this idea of loving America as well. For so long, as you know, Republicans have screamed from the rooftops that those on the left hate America and Republicans are the ones who love America. But often that came in the form of framing change and improvements as proof of hate for the country. And the only way to exhibit one's love for the country is by advocating it's perfect as it is and should stay the same, or better yet, they'd say, go backwards to a time gone by, make America great again like it was in the past. Then you ask when, and the answer is the 50s maybe. Y'all remember how great the 50s were for everybody? Now, of course, this has changed some with Trump, who says everything's terrible, and the only way we can fix it is by selecting a strong man like him. But the criticism levied at the left is essentially the same. And one of the reasons this branding has worked so effectively for so long is the left doesn't really push back aggressively enough against it. And that's why it's something I bring up on occasion. Loving one's country, it's not about excusing its wrongdoing or ignoring its history. Loving one's country is not about worshiping symbols or wishing for times that have passed. Loving one's country is acknowledging the severe injustices and working to address them. It's celebrating where we get it right and correcting where we get it wrong. And in this country in particular, it's acknowledging the responsibility that comes with being the most powerful and influential country on the entire planet. Acknowledging the magnitude of the United States. And that shouldn't lead us to be brazen or ignorant in our interactions with the rest of the world, but instead motivate us to leverage that might for good. So the fact that we want to see change enacted and people uplifted is proof of our love for America. In addition to our love for the best of American ideals that we constantly fail to live up to. And Biden in that speech tapped into some of that. Democrats do better embody the principles of freedom, liberty, and love of country. Not because we put it on bumper stickers and yard signs, but because we want to do the work to uphold those principles and make them a reality for so many of the people that they're not. So I guess my request to you in this segment is don't cede the framing. Don't allow for the GOP to get away with the branding that just doesn't reflect reality on this issue or others. If we believe, as I do, that there's something unique and powerful about the founding and existence of the United States, then we should express that by trying to actually manifest the best of what it could be. Let me know what you think of all that in the comments. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and you can become a member at lukebeasleyshow.com/membership.